Hey guys, welcome back to 9180. I'm here with my foster rescue cat Jones, and we have some really happy and exciting news to share with everyone. Jones doesn't know it, but this pandemic has drastically altered the course of his life. I believe there are many paths to happiness, but his path just kept hitting roadblocks and detours, and all of those had something to do with this COVID-19 crisis. Many of you know that he had been submitted for approval to be transported to the state of Maine. He was actually accepted on that list, and he even went in to get additional shots. There were 2 additional shots that were required by the state of Maine, and the date was set and his bags were packed, and as this virus began to spread throughout the country, states began to go on lockdown and travel restrictions were set in place, and ultimately that transport to Maine was canceled. And that was kind of the first time that Jones was robbed of a chance at happiness from this pandemic. But after the transport to Maine was canceled, he went up for local adoption. Oh, hi, Miffy. And somebody very quickly became interested in adopting him. And unfortunately, before we could schedule a meet and greet with them, I became very sick and I started displaying symptoms, and I tested negative for flu, negative for strep. My blood was showing that I had a viral infection, which made me a candidate for the COVID-19 test. And as you probably know, when you have the COVID-19 test done, you are under mandatory quarantine until the test results come back. And so we had to disclose that information to the Skiatook Paws and Claws Animal Rescue. And it kind of spooked the person. Not everyone knows. Not everyone knows that felines can actually contract coronavirus. So if I had tested positive, there was a chance that Jones could have been a carrier. And so thankfully I tested negative, but by that point it was kind of too late for that individual. And that was the second time that Jones's chance for a happy ever after was taken away due to this crisis. And fast forward 1 week, another couple became interested in adopting him, and because I had tested negative, we went ahead and scheduled a meet and greet with them. Unfortunately, due to social distancing protocols, we could not meet in the normal meet and greet room. They have a small, intimate room with very few distractions, but we had to meet in a really big room with lots and lots and lots of distractions, lots of things to hide under and climb on. There were other cats in the room inside of cages. And Jonesy felt that he needed to go around and say hello to every single one of the cats and smell all of the cats. And I really think any cat in his situation would have done the same. It wasn't really his fault, but if you understand anything about cats, you know that until they've had a chance to fully explore a new environment. Sorry, Riff wants in the room now. Come on, Riffy. Come on. Come on. Until they've had a chance to explore their new environment, they're really not going to give you or anyone else the time of day. And we tried getting him to play with toys and everything, but it was just too much for him to take in, and that resulted in the couple just not feeling a connection with Jones. And it's not their fault. You definitely want it to feel right when you're adopting an animal, because you're making a lifelong decision for that animal. And so definitely needs to feel right, but it also wasn't Jones's fault either. He was just being a normal kitty, like he is right now, having to get into everything. But anyway, we were more than happy to take him back home that night. We love Jones. But 2 days later, we got a message from Stephanie, and everything has happened so fast since then. He was accepted for a brand new transport to the state of Minnesota. And this is Paws and Claw's first time to partner with the Happy Tails Rescue in Minnesota. And so this is their very first transport. And what's really neat about Happy Tails is that they're going to keep us updated. We actually get to know about his new fosters, and we're going to get to know when he gets adopted and about his new adoptive family. And Happy Tails actually asked me to write a letter, and my letter is 2 pages long because there is a lot to say about Jones and his personality and his story, his likes, his dislikes. As with most guys, the key to Jones's heart is through his stomach, and so I definitely suggested they give him some wet food. We don't feed him or our cats wet food, but he did get to have some right after his neutering when he was wearing his cone. I felt he needed to be spoiled, and he loved wet food. And so I really think if they do that, that might be the key to his happiness there. Oh, he's being really goofy right now. And so I wrote one letter for his new foster and another for his future forever family, and I attached a bag of treats to each of them. I don't give my cats treats. I've never given Jones treats either, but those were complimentary from our vet, and so I decided to send them. I think his transition when he gets to his new fosters and then when he gets to his new forever home will be a lot easier if they spoil him really good with treats. He might, think back to me and be like, hey, that other lady never gave me these. This is kind of awesome. I worry a little bit about him. I definitely don't ever want him to think that he was sent away because he did something wrong. I've had a lot of people ask me why we're not keeping Jones ourselves. And it's definitely something Randy and I have discussed. But when you see the videos and the photos that I post of Jones looking very happy, he is, for the most part, a very happy cat. But it doesn't tell the whole story. Something that people don't always understand is that our house is divided in half. Half of our house is used as our home, our personal living space, and the other half is a wedding venue. And our cats live in the wedding venue, and our 2 cats were raised to guard and protect the wedding venue, and it's all they've ever known, and they're very happy. But it became very clear very quickly that Jones had been a house pet at some point. And he craves that. He is constantly trying to sneak into our side of the house, is constantly scratching on the door. He deserves a home where he can curl up on his human's lap, where he can, sit on the couch and just really enjoy those luxuries. It's very clear that he had been a house pet before, and it's very sad that we can't give that to him. Randy has terrible cat allergies, and so we're really hopeful that he's going to be able to find that perfect fit for him, where he can curl up on the couch with his human. And I'm just beyond excited for him. Very, very sad for us, but beyond excited for him. And anyway, I had told you his story, so I wanted to make sure to update you on this. And as we find out information from Happy Tails about his future, he's climbing on my camera stand, I will definitely probably end up doing another update video just to let you know where he ended up. But anyways, you guys have a good one, and bye-bye.